Hey everyone, Brad&Jon here, also known as the Posh Kings, and welcome back to our channel.
So, in this episode, we're going to talk about something we did that's a little bit different. What we have found, and we think it happens to a lot of people, as resellers, we always go to the same spots, we do the same methods when sourcing merchandise. So we decided to kind of get out of our shell and do some things that we haven't done before and see how it went. So we've went a few different places and did things that we hear a lot of other people have success with, but we just haven't done.
It was actually kind of exciting too, to try something different.
It was doing something different.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I think for us, and I have to be honest, our two favorite parts of reselling are the money.
Money first.
Money first.
Money first. Money first.
And we love the thrill of the hunt, the chase. You know, finding those great items that either, you know, are extremely well priced or, you know, maybe a store didn't know what it was.
Exactly.
It's always pretty exciting. So here we are. So what we did, and we actually went, the merchandise that we're going to be showing you, we did a week ago. So we're just now kind of catching up. I've had a lot of projects going on. We wanted to show everything before we actually listed it. And here we are. We went on to a estate sale.
Yeah.
Now, we've been to estate sales many times, but never to source merchandise.
It's always for like our own goods, like, you know, we wanted like antiques or decorative pieces for the house. You know, that's what we used to go there for.
Yeah, exactly.
We never went there to find stuff to resell.
So it's very, very different. Okay, everybody, we had to step out for a second, and now we're back. We noticed that while we were taping that first section, we were really orange, like pumpkins.
Very Oompa Loompa-ish.
Very Oompa Loompa-ish. And
so we need to adjust.
So we need to adjust. It was a little frightful, but we didn't really want to retape it either.
Yeah.
So here we are. But anyway, so again, we decided to go to an estate sale, and we really found some great things. Not tons of things.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't a volume pickup, but we did pick up quite a good.
That will make
quite a
it
few good things.
Very, very worth it.
Yeah.
And again, we are not aficionados when it comes to estate sales. We've been to them, but again, it was for personal things, we look, so forth and so on, never for merchandise.
Right.
However, we thought the right decision would be is to go to an estate sale in a better neighborhood, meaning as in possibly a little more affluent, so the merchandise could possibly be different.
Yeah.
And that's kind of we went, and we found some luxury goods, some usual contemporary things, and we're really excited about it. So I'm going to refer to my notes.
Because you know he always has his notes ready for us.
I always have notes. I kind of talk a lot, so this helps me to keep talking even more. You know, the first thing is admitting your fault. So here we are. So it kind of gets me off post. Yeah, exactly. So everything we saw that you'll see today, we paid a total of $300 for. I'm sure many of you have been to estate sales. The more items you start to put together, the better the price they give you. Each one of the items were more expensive initially, but when they saw us buying, I think we have 28 items.
I believe so.
Shoes, accessories, and garments.
And a couple of fun things afterwards, Also, too, real fast, estate sales are also known notoriously also for lowering their prices. So if you guys research estate sales, if you guys look and see how long the estate sale's been going on for, a lot of times when it's coming to an end is when you get the best deals possible. So you can always see when, you can always look that up too and find out. And usually that's when they give away great bargains. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to start with some of the things that we found. This is in Palm Beach where we went. Again, you know, Palm Beach is Palm Beach, so there are lots of great things in that area.
Yes.
And that's where we started. So Brad is going to show you
our
number one.
We got a pair of these really cute Coach.
I don't know if I would call them vintage.
I don't know if I would call them vintage. I mean, it has a great toe on it, which is very current still. But a nice little slingback heel with the Coach monogram, typical, you know, canvas.
And you know what's interesting about these shoes? In my prior life, I was a hairdresser in Maryland. And this, you know, Coach was a Maryland woman's, Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
It was like, if a client came in and was wearing these shoes, that meant I was getting a good tip.
Good tip that day.
Good tip that day. So there are 2 pairs of shoes.
We actually found this pair as well. It was sitting right next to it. They're in black. The only difference is this one's not a slingback, it's a mule. All lowered heel,
Great
so
condition.
it's not too high of a heel, very easy to walk in. Canvas, same thing, the typical, trademark Coach monogram canvas. Great condition.
Each one of the shoes probably initially when they were new, and I estimate these are early 2000s, I think. Early 2000s. They were probably about 150 back then. Most Coach shoes now are in the made in Italy. They retail for about 300. I would estimate we should be able to get 60 to 70 because they're in such excellent condition. And normally logo or branding items sell the best for us, especially in shoes.
Yeah, especially for like Coach. Like and it's such a classic thing, the monogram.
Yeah, exactly. So the next thing we found
was a pair of these, and they're leather. Another pair of sandal heels. We love finding like stuff like this, especially going into spring and summer. We talked about it on a couple of videos ago about our haul, about that we love finding like things now to fit for the season coming up. So
make sure to show them the logo too, Brad.
So these are,
I think a lot of people aren't.
They're not
overly
familiar.
Yeah, you're right.
This is called Casadei.
Exactly. Casadei.
Made in Italy.
Made in Italy. Very, very expensive shoes. These would have retailed originally for about $695.
Yeah.
I would estimate we should be able to get about $125 if it were on Poshmark. If we sell them on Tracy,
they do really well on Tracy.
We
and also
should be able to get $200 or $250.
Same thing. eBay does really well with Casadei as well. We do well on eBay with that.
Yeah, look, and I think everyone realizes that certain brands sell better on certain sites,
and that's why it's so important. I think, especially now, to like have your merchandise with as many eyes as possible by listing them on all the different apps.
Yeah, I anticipate a lot of the items that you're going to see today are going to be better on Tracy for us because they are kind of designer, kind of cult items, so to speak.
Definitely, I totally agree.
So moving on.
Okay, so the next one we have, and we actually have 2 pieces of this brand.
Yeah.
And typically we find these, and they're not always in such great condition. These are actually in really good condition. They are UGG sandal wedges.
Leopard, excellent condition.
Leopard, it's like I would call it calf hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, calf hair. Slingback, beautiful, very good condition. And again, they're UGG, so those are always good. And UGG has a cult following, as we all know.
And keep in mind, again, everything you're seeing today, they gave us kind of a package price of $300. Yeah, so we don't know the individual breakdown.
Because if you haven't been to an estate sale, what you do is you put everything together in one pile, and then the person running the estate sale, who's in charge of the pricing, he'll come around, or she will come around, and then they'll write down everything and give you a quote.
Now, of course, sometimes, obviously, when you're buying more major items, they are priced very individually. But I think for a lot of, I'll call this, I wouldn't say bric-a-brac, but, smalls, they kind of put things together and give you a circle price.
Perfect.
Okay.
So we did find also, like I said, another pair of them as well. And these are like a chocolate brown suede. Again, wedge sandal, perfect for pretty much all year round, especially down here in Florida. But, now going into spring and summer, great thing. UGG, great.
And because of the condition, I think the 2 UGGs, we should be able to get $60 or $70. They're really in excellent condition.
Yeah, again, like I said, we find UGGs a lot. And a lot of times, especially down here, because we are in Florida, so people wear sandals all year round here. So if you find something like this, a lot of times it's heavily worn because of where we live. So
what was interesting about this one particular sale that we went to is that normally when we have been before, it's almost like most of the sales have an era. Whereas this particular sale, it was someone who had passed. It was their home, so their items, which I can figure, some of these I think I know was theirs. It was a pretty expensive house. But there also were some really youthful things, as you saw, like the UGGs and so forth. So I think the family brought some things in of their own that they wanted to get rid of, and they put it into this sale as well. The family of, obviously, the person that had owned the house.
Makes sense.
That's my assumption, anyway, for whatever it's worth. Moving on again.
So, okay, and then we found, and look, these These, I mean, they're still retailing for a lot of money. These are Jack Rogers. Heeled sandals with the strap sling, slingback, strappy heel, whatever you want to call it.
Clean feet.
Clean feet,
nice.
Which I'm sure, as all of you know, if you find Jack Rogers, a lot of times they're worn,
very
really
toey.
worn, very toey. So these are actually in really great condition. So, and again, they used to sell for a lot more. They still retail for a good price. I think a lot of the Jack Rogers retail for around $128 and even go higher. These now, because I think it's so oversaturated, they don't sell for as much, but they still sell for
It used to be Jack Rogers would sell for $20 less than
what the actual full retail. Yeah.
They had, a cult following like teaks because sometimes they only bring out certain colors. What makes these rare is that they're denim. Denim Jack Rogers always get more than the other leather ones.
I think it's like a plastic leather combo on the other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's going to show us something else.
Okay, so the next one we found, and these are definitely really, really nice. These are gray with like a snakeskin in there. They're Gucci, size 38, which is an 8 in American. Unless you're on Macari, then they say that's 7.5, which they always go down for some reason.
Yeah, and they're python and suede.
Yep. Beautiful condition, too. Like, there's, the suede's in good shape. Not too many dings on it. Which is
now,
tough
what's interesting is you can often really date Gucci by the logo they're using at the time.
So this is the logo that's inside of the shoe.
That particular logo was used many, many years ago.
Yeah.
And then it was brought back in about 2003, because I have a couple bags. They brought it back. They had an I Love New York collection. And it had a big, I Love New York on the bags. And then it had the Gucci.
Yeah.
So they're about 15 years old, but they look practically new.
Yeah, they're not all beaten up, so it's actually
very wearable and relatable to today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so moving on.
Okay, so
two more pairs of shoes.
Yes, 2 more pairs of shoes. So we're gonna do these next.
These were an amazing find.
So this might be a brand also you might not know of, but the brand is called Hogan. Let me see if I can get that in there. See it?
Hogan.
Yep. Okay, so it's actually an Italian brand that's owned, it's actually property or owned by Tod's, which is another great brand. This brand specifically, it drives a big price, especially on bags. If you guys ever find bags out there, Hogan
bags are a lot of money. We have found a couple.
Hogan bags.
Yeah, they're like $3,000, $4,000+ $1,000.
Yeah, they're very expensive and great quality because it's
And we got them when we found the bags for pennies. Because most people don't know the brand.
Right.
It is very much almost like a socialite brand.
Yeah.
The general public don't know about it, but the people that do are willing to pay up for it.
And that's why, like, if you can find them in your thrift stores, a lot of times, or estate sales, or yard, wherever it is, where if you can find them, a lot of times the prices won't be so high because a lot of times they don't even know the brand. So, but if you find them, it's great. So these are like a platform suede. I always forget what they call that in the front.
I do. I always forget.
That. I call it fringe, which is not it's fringies, which is not the official name, so don't quote me on that. But but they're super lightweight. They're not heavy duty. Like, I mean, you can actually wear them and not like.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. So that's our.
So there's kind of an interesting story with these. Again, they're fairly pricey shoes. We researched them. Initially, they were, I can't remember if it was $650 or $695, the original price. Right now, they're on all of the sites for $350 to $450, depending on the condition.
Yeah.
However, and I didn't look, but I did see there's a pair of them on Poshmark for $45.
Some of the listings are really like on like eBay and Crazy, still on Poshmark as well, of course. But we'll hope for the bigger dollars on Crazy.
On other sites in the 3 to 5 range.
Yeah.
And that goes back to just like, certain thrift stores we go into. They don't know every brand.
Right, exactly.
We really do try to find brands that thrift stores aren't aware of yet. Like it's a common thing. People say, Goodwill, they know everything. They know what we do, and so forth and so on. So it's hard finding higher priced items or more valuable items at Goodwill these days.
Yeah, definitely. So our last pair of shoes, which I think are really cool, and I actually love this brand.
This is something a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah. So we actually just on our last haul, I think it was our last haul, maybe the other video we did, we found a brand called Schutz. Great brand. It sells very well. We actually sold those sandals, I think, within 24 hours on Poshmark.
Which we paid like $3 or $4 for, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think we sold them for 60.
I think so. That 50 or 60. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Something in that range.
Yeah. So these are actually schutz, but they're like
original retail,
$200.
Boots.
I mean, look at the leather on them. The leather's like really, and we didn't polish them up or anything like that. That's how they actually look when we got them. So fantastic. And those are always great because honestly, even what I've noticed is even in the summer, we'll still sell boots because I think people are just getting ready for next season. You know, you collect it while it's available. So
yeah, great find.
Yes.
So now we're gonna move on to some of the accessories.
Yes.
As I had mentioned before,
these.
These are super groovy. As I had mentioned before, there was various eras of things, and these are pretty amazing. They come with a cloth. They are a pair of Versace sunglasses, and they're a fairly new style. I think this style was out within the past 2 years, if I'm correct.
Which these are great too, because as we all know, when you find glasses, a lot of times the older they are or the more used they are, obviously comes with scratches.
Why don't you model them for everybody, Brad?
I'll model them, but I don't have the right face for this shape. We're going to try it anyway.
Oh, they're glorious.
Maybe not on me, but they'll be glorious on somebody else.
Somebody else.
I don't have the right shape for that one.
These probably retailed normally in the... They have all their stones.
Have all their stones. They have like little stone accents. They're really beautiful, actually. And like, again, there's like no scratches on them.
Yeah, they're marvelous.
So we lucked out with that one.
Okay. And the next is...
Here, I'll hold it up if you want.
I would do this one.
Okay.
This is something that we're kind of, again, sometimes it's odd that you find certain things.
Yeah.
Because this is, again, fairly new within the last 2 years.
And you can tell it's new because of the pattern of the
particular
print.
print.
The particular print. So this is a Fendi tie.
Men's tie.
Men's tie.
You can move it in closer.
Yep. So like that's...
It's one of the newer shape logos, which that would have been like 260... 250 to 260 new, full retail.
Yeah, no snags, no stains, which is very hard to find sometimes with ties.
This one is really magnificent, and I made my notes here. You start to show it, Brad.
I'll start to show while he gets his notes.
This will definitely be a tradesy sale.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
We've done well with these on eBay as well, but tradesy's like really good for scarves. So I'm gonna step back just a little bit. This is Givenchy.
Scarf,
so it has like
logo.
Am I showing the logo?
Print,
and then down here
it has Givenchy,
and then
over. This is what I think is amazing is that it is one of the newer styles.
Yeah,
and you can see by the tagging.
Yeah. Also, too, again, no snags, no stains. It has the rolled edge that we explained last time.
Hand rolled edge.
Hand rolled edge,
Hand
not
sewn.
machine.
And
it has the tag right
It has
there.
one of the newer tags.
That's a newer, if you guys see that tag out there, that's a newer style of Givenchy.
There we go. I need to do my nails. Anywho.
Manny's next.
Yeah, it's really magnificent. It's one of the larger scarves.
Yes. It has to be like a shawl almost. No? Or a wrap?
Maybe wrap.
Yeah,
I would
not
say
a shawl.
Shawl typically is pretty big.
Yeah.
So that was a huge buy.
Okay.
We found some more simple items, which we'll do those right now.
Oh, this is fun.
We found it's just, I'm assuming it's vintage. I'm not exactly sure. I have to research a little more. Cashmere and wool hat. Really cute. A Adrian Landau fur scarf.
Which these always do really well for us.
Yeah, it's rabbit, so it's not one of the super high-end furs, but I think they retail for like $225.
Yeah.
And we normally can sell them for like $100.
That's a great brand, by the way. If you guys are out there and you see it, pick it up.
Adrian Landau.
Yep.
We have this really adorable Colhan Pouchette.
Which, right now, the Pouchette bag is
that
so
is the
popular.
shape, yeah.
That's why, like, people are having like a lot of luck, like with Prada bags, Christian Dior bags. If it has that shape, even Coach, that shape is coming back. So people are starting to collect.
Yeah, like the little Coach bags are ridiculous. You can't find them at thrift stores anymore.
And when we do find them, they're usually they're more expensive than like the other
It's
Coach
bananas.
bags. Yeah.
Juicy Couture, velour sweatsuits, and little Coach bags is the hot.
Yeah. So
thing.
put that on your list of things to look out for because it's hot again. Which I never thought it would ever come back.
So the studded bags in Colhan, obviously because they're really done well.
Yeah.
were a little more expensive. I think this probably would have been about $325 to $350 when it was new. Studs always sell fast for us with these bags.
Definitely.
I would think we could get 80 to 100 for it.
Yes.
And put that here.
And this one, I love this one. This is a
it's a
look. This is, I'm sure we've all seen
Rebecca
these before.
Minkoff doesn't get what it used to.
It doesn't get what it used to. We used to be able to sell Minkoff for a
Bananas.
big ticket price, especially like the big tote bags. But these, the typical crossbody, especially nowadays, women typically like to carry something a little smaller. This is a great bag to use.
It's unusual in that it's opalescent.
It's opalescent, which I love. And I love the word opalescent. We should use that more often.
I know.
It's very, very chic.
I like it. And it's in literally perfect condition. It's like brand new.
Again, which I'm sure most of you have found these out there. And either they're missing tassels or it's missing a bottom stud, or there's always something that's because they get worn so.
Yeah, and I would, because they, if I'm correct, Brad, they're like 200.
Yeah, they're still actually on the site. She still sells that shape and that style.
Correct. And again, they don't sell as high as they used to, but because it's perfect condition, I think we should be able to get about $80.
And because it's opalescent.
Yeah, I've never seen one like that.
I don't mean either. It's kind of crazy.
All right, let's move.
Okay, moving on. So then this we'll bring over.
So again, this is why there were various eras, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We found two Escada cashmere wool scarves. Really, they're more shawl-like. They are really large.
And we have it in black as well. Same exact
they're
size.
Fringed.
Which I love.
It has, if I'm correct, a mid-90s tag. I think that's a mid-90s tag.
Yeah, that's an older tag.
So, again, I would think this would have been the homeowners. They typically go now for about $650. I would assume at the time they were probably more like $450. We should be able to get, I would believe, at least $125 or so for each one,
which is great.
Escada is a very Palm Beach thing.
Yeah, it is.
You know, we find Escada in St. John by the dozens.
Yes, we always have.
It's a very common product for a lot of the women in Palm Beach.
Yes.
Okay, then we have an Escada cashmere
sleeveless top.
Sleeveless.
I'm going to call that sherbet. I love that color.
Sherbet.
I actually love sherbet too.
And it's really cute. It has almost like the Fendi stitching. The angular stitching on clothes Fendi started doing. I don't think this is that old. It's in perfect condition. And it's beautiful.
It has the white tag.
Correct. And I think this would have been about $550 new. And now it is... probably normally get like $60 for them, 70.
Yeah,
we're lucky. Something simple. Oh, here.
No, you're good. So this is just simple, easy breezy Island Fisher. Again, Island Fisher has a great following. It doesn't demand the price that we used to get for it because it is such an oversaturated brand. But we never skip on it, especially if it's a good price. Obviously, if it's a little bit higher price, we don't. I love this because it has like the perforated, I call it perforated, mesh feel to it. So even though it's darker, you can even use that in the summer as like a
it's perfect. And look, we're moving into summer.
Yep, so it's perfect. So
now a major find that we have for men, and again, I think this is
a good brand. I think most people don't know about.
They don't know about unless you kind of are into buying men's luxury suiting and so forth and so on. It is a Brioni, which Brioni is one of the most expensive men's clothing lines in the world. One of.
Show the tag real
So
fast.
it is a Brioni.
And that's
silk, tropical shirt, very Palm Beach, of course. And the original on this, because it is a newer tag, is anywhere from $11.50 to $11.75.
So if you guys see it out there,
always get Brioni.
Always get Brioni, because the person who, same thing, a lot of these brands you guys sell, the person who knows Brioni, and they'll buy.
They're willing to pay for it.
Yep, absolutely.
I would think we should be able to get at least $150, $175 for it, because it's in perfect pressed condition. It literally was at the dry cleaner before we found it. So let's do. This is something interesting. Some people get really high prices for this. Yeah. We never have, but we always pick it up. It's called Lawrence Kazar. It is a beaded sleeveless top, little.
Still has the original tags
venting.
on it.
And what's really weird is every time we find it, it still has its original tags.
Yeah, which is really interesting. It's almost like the person bought it and just didn't go to the event.
Yeah. So
change of plans.
We always pick it up, and our friends that sell vintage do really, really well with it.
Really well with it.
So we pick it up, and we have really strong hopes that we'll sell it and do what they do.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened yet. But we took it anyway. We found a Sandro tweed jacket coat.
Which we actually have. It's almost like a, I don't want to call it, it's like a cape coat almost, no?
Kind of A-lined.
A-lined, has big, beautiful button accents. Sandro, again, we talked about it last time. Emily in Paris, the show on Netflix, made that very popular.
Again.
Most people didn't even realize it was a brand already.
Yeah.
Like, it's been around for quite some time, so.
It really was a brand. Obviously, it's been in the States for a while, but it was kind of a ladies who lunch brand. It was very exclusive, and so now the general world knows about it. So it's really starting to become more popular.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're putting stores all over.
Yes. What do you want to do? You want to do this one?
Yeah, let's do that. So we have a Vince. Oh, and the Sandro probably originally was about $400 to $450.
So this is Vince. Another little coat, has the hidden button accents.
Soft blazer, soft jacket.
A lot of times when you find Vince, it's always like the t-shirts. A lot of times they do like the basic tees and all that stuff. Those typically don't really go for much, as we all know. But when you
we try to buy the special items that would have been a little bit higher. This would have been in a $350 to $400 range, originally new.
Yep. Okay.
This, I don't know how much we'll actually get for it, but I got it because we thought it was so cute. It's Zara Basic, but it's just this beautiful, oversized tweed coat.
Yeah, because we know people do very well with Zara out there.
Some people blow it out a small fortune.
And we don't have that kind of luck, but we do try, like John said.
We try to get special items.
We try to get special items.
What we feel are special.
Yes.
It's really cute. I have no idea what we'll get for it.
We'll put it up and
do our best. We'll do our best.
We'll hope for the best.
It's super cute.
Okay.
So these are a few items that we actually found that day, not part of the sale.
Yeah.
We went to this other little store and we found these, but because we just wanted to include it in.
Right.
But anyway, so we found, and literally these were dollars. They were so cheap.
Yeah.
It was bananas. But we found a Versace evening gown.
And it's long. It's a full length.
Full length, high slit.
On the side.
On the side. It has cutouts here, which it's hard to show, but Versace's always good for cutout, plunging neckline, rear zipper, and I think that I would call the fabric crepe, closest to crepe. It's really quite magnificent, and again, I think we paid less than $5.
Yeah.
So we also found
this, which is, I love this. It's silk. It's Dolce & Gabbana.
Very vintage.
Very, very vintage, because you can tell just by the tag alone that it's an older print. Also, too, it has that
excellent condition.
Excellent condition. It has that vintage feel. It has like the cufflink accents. Has the hidden button accent again, and it is a women's blouse.
I would estimate, sometimes with vintage it's kind of hard.
It's hard to price.
But we've worked with these products for so long. I would say it would have still been in the $700 range when it was new.
Yeah.
And then one last is, again, a very vintage, and I would say it's late 70s, early 80s, a Givenchy. I still have not, is that men's or women's? I forgot. It's men's, right?
It's men's, yep.
Yeah. Men's Givenchy shirt. It has, all the little, I won't catch it, Givenchy's written all over it.
Which is a very common trait with them.
Yeah, and what also was very interesting is back in that time frame, a lot of, high-end luxury stores would contact designers and have them make products specifically for their stores. So this one is Givenchy for Chesa. and they actually, you can see, it confused a lot of people. They think it's not real, or I don't say not real, but not authentic when they see that. But during the 70s and 80s, a lot of brands made specialty products, and it was still under the umbrella, still the real thing, but they were only sold in certain stores.
It's like the new age of collaborations, you know, Adidas.
Yeah, like Versace for H&M, and it's exactly that.
Gucci with North Face, you know. So then,
oh, we got to find some fun things. Show some fun things we found.
Okay, so yeah, because you always have to. Lately we've been picking up a lot of like fun things that are just kitschy. They're fun.
So I really love this, and I think I'm going to keep it. I'm a pillow addict.
He is a pillow addict.
We have
as you all know if you've seen our house.
This big,
it's cute,
long beach house pillow. How cute! And has like Florida and all that jazz.
California.
It's really cute. It's clean. It doesn't smell like anything.
Bonus,
which is good. So we will be keeping this
more likely.
And then Brad found something super adorable
at the estate sale. This was. I'll show it.
Yeah, I'll hold it.
It's a bag of bears that we got for, what was it, $5?
Yeah, it was actually, I think it was $5.
$5 for all of them. So, and look, we have, a lot of them are boys.
It was another bag, actually. It was a plastic bag, but it broke.
So, a lot of them are boys, B-O-Y-D-S. They don't really, I mean, they're all over the place, like usually like $10 to $20, but they're in great condition. A lot of them have like moving body parts. This one does not.
Yeah, like brand new.
Showing. Like this one is one, and look, the arms move, all that stuff. It's all fun. More boys. And they're all in great condition. A lot of them still have like the tag connected, which sometimes obviously a kid would cut that off. This one is a Barrington, I believe. Yes.
Barrington
Bunny. Head moves, body moves, all that. And then we found this one in there too. It's just a typical Disney Pluto, which I think is like, they go for like $20 now, but you know, again, with the price we pay for the bag, you might as well go with it. This one, for some reason, every time I look at it, it reminds me of John. If John was, this is if John was a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Because the fur shawl.
Yeah.
And the big hat with the flower accent.
Yeah, funny guy here. Funny guy.
Anyway, and then we have like two more. Okay, so this one's really cute too. This one is
a backpack.
Yeah, this one's Gans, if I'm saying it right. I think it's Gans, G-A-N-Z, and it has a little backpack on it. Really super cute.
Another Boyd, super adorable.
Yep. And then my favorite one is this one, and it's actually exclusive for Mercedes-Benz. And these are actually collectors. They're all over the internet for sale. In overalls for Mercedes-Benz.
I think they're like $50.
Yeah, go for like
on eBay. This particular one, the overall we looked up. The overall is a little more rare.
It's a little more rare, so
than some of the others.
We love that one, so we might actually keep that one too. But we'll probably sell it.
So that's the story.
So that was our first time
sourcing
for resale.
Estate sale.
Yeah, from an estate sale.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard not to shop for yourself, but you know.
And of course, again, we had 3 items
that weren't from the estate sale.
After the estate sale,
we threw them in there.
We threw them in.
So thank you guys so much for joining in. Be sure to like and subscribe. The next slide is you'll see a little thing. You just gotta click it and subscribe, and we'll keep putting out content for you guys.
Be well, everybody. Take care.
Guys.